One. Hey guys, welcome to the Potsy. My name is AJ.
Hello guys, this is Lex again. Welcome back to another video.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So Lex, you did your 10 push-ups.
Already
I
did.
saw them. I saw them. So as you can see, the markets were up today. It was very green. The CPI data came out very good. I don't want to say strong because strong can mean like very bad too, but it was a good CPI report, which spiked the markets up. And there was a moment, Lex, when the markets were started to tank, and that moment was when the news came out that a Russian fighter jet intentionally hit a unmanned U.S. drone in the Black Sea. So I want to share the screen with you, and I want to show you the so right here, wait, hold on. CNN breaking news: Russian jet dumped fuel on a U.S. drone over the Black Sea and then hit it with its propeller. So, what do you what do you think about that?
I just don't. I do believe about the fuel. I think it is believable, but bumping each other, which that's what it is. I don't think that's true. Airplanes don't do that. They're not go-karts that you can bump each other. These are airplanes,
Yeah. So
fighter jets. You can't just hit one another and just one is gonna be damaged and the other one is not.
correct. Maybe the
It's
drone
some
was made in
some
China or something, weak.
well, somebody's lying. That's not the truth. I don't think it is.
So Russian ambassador was very quick to say that, to the U.S. and U.S. and Antonov that he does not want confrontation with the US. And then basically the actions of the Russian pilot was unsafe, unprofessional, and reckless. Now, my guess is that you're what you're saying, I think there is something bigger behind it. And I think I just didn't expect, the market was going perfectly fine, and then you see this news and it just started tanking. And right now, with the CPI data report coming out really good, my guess is, and the market is raising that the probability is a 0.25 basis point rate hike instead of a zero point 0.5. And maybe if this CPI data is really good, it backs up the point that uh maybe Jerome Powell does not have to raise the rate hikes this coming session. So going forward with that, I believe that President Biden had the copy of the CPI data report before anybody else did. So that's why he would say that, hey, it's going to be in solid shape, so don't worry about it. Like, very confident to say that. I know they keep these things very restrictive and hidden, but man, I like that's why I was saying, like, when I kind of was going for green versus you were going for red, because even though I was going for green, I was going because the fact that how he said the CPI data was going to be in solid shape, that is the reason why I was backing up for a green day. Yours makes more sense because of what just happened. It's like people just totally forgot about this bank crisis. I mean, I know it's in the back of their mind, but they're like totally okay. You know what? Everything's going to go back to normal. We got the Fed backing it up. It's still going to be an interesting week going forward to next week when the rate hikes actually happen. It's going to be very interesting to see how things play out. Now, also, going forward with tomorrow, remember Chat GPT predicted a stock market crash tomorrow. And
Do we
what
have
do
a
you think
time?
about that?
Is there a time that
It
it
said
might
March
happen?
15th. March 15th is what it said. And I
Okay.
honestly, at this point, I don't see anything big that could happen unless if another major bank fails or something, or
Well, well, think about it.
Russia
Uh,
war.
well, think about it. The weekend, it was every everything was crazy,
Everyone
and
was
now,
panicking.
right, and now Monday came, it was getting better, and now today is like nothing happened.
Yeah.
So things can change in a second, where it might be true. Something might happen. Something huge might happen tomorrow, where everything's gonna crash. But to me, and I feel like it's not over yet. I think there's more to come.
Uh,
I just feel like it's not over. People need to remember that
um,
we not these are not normal times.
I mean, when I saw the news of the Russian fighter jet crash into the U.S. manned drone, I bought some puts like right away, but I didn't hold it because I knew, like, this news could be just like, nothing really. The market's overreacting, and I sold the put within like 5 minutes. Like I did a quick scalp put, I got out, and I saw the market coming back up. And uh saying that, uh what I'm trying to say now is that with these rate hikes, if the rate hike doesn't happen, what we said on the last video, there could be a major bull run and people are gonna like hop into it like crazy, because the reason why, Lex, I think, is because it's an opportunity that a lot of people are looking forward to.
Okay,
Because
to
Mhm.
you, as of today, do you think the interest rate is gonna go up or is it gonna stay the same as of today? What do you
Right
think?
now, I'm going with what the market is going to say, and I think it's going to be a 0.25 basis point rate hike. Now, the reason why I'm saying that is because inflation is still here, and supposedly the CPI data says that inflation is falling again. Last inflation data report, it raised by zero point 0.5 basis. So, with that being said, I honestly don't see the correlation of how it just drops, goes up, drops, goes up. I mean, if it's here to stay, that's why Powell's raising the rates. That's why last meeting he said that, we're gonna do it faster and we're gonna do it longer. Those were his two things that he said.
Yeah,
And
but think about it, AJ. Why not increase the rates when now that they came and helped this bank, if another bank fails, they're gonna help that bank. And if they keep helping banks that they're failing, why not keep increasing the rate? Because no matter what happened to the banks, they're gonna be there to help them out.
okay, so to answer that question, the reason why SVB happened the way it did is because they gambled a lot of the depositors' money and they put it on a bet. Now the inflation was rising, so if you're, your risk management team should hedge against whatever bets you have just to be safe. They didn't do that, and when Powell was raising the rates, it caused the debacle of whatever happened with SVB. Now Powell is a man of like his word. So if he decides to do a zero point 0.5 basis point rate hike, then you will see markets crash. You might see more of these bank failures. Now people will probably be texting him, telling him, hey, do you really want to be the guy that crashes the market? Do you want to be known for that?
And like, yeah,
And
There's people
that
that he needs to take care
would that
too.
be his legacy and stuff like that? Now,
Well, think about it though. I'm sorry to stop you, but think about
yeah,
it. Every bank plays play with customers' money. Every bank.
yeah,
That's what they do. The only difference here is that this bank didn't have enough liquid, and they were everybody was going to the bank to get the money out. That's
yeah,
the main thing. If that happens to Bank of America, everybody goes and try to get their money out. The same thing is going to happen to them, even though they're a big bank. They might have a lot of money, but they have a lot of deposits, a lot of customers. If let's say 10% of their customers want to go and get their money out, they might be in trouble.
yeah.
And that's what they do. I think the best thing to do for them for the feds is to go ahead and increase at 0.25. Now 0.25 in a couple of months, go slow. 50% might be too high all at once.
I mean, I completely agree with you. That's what I think it might happen. Uh, but even with that rate hike, is it safe for banks? I know it is safe for the bigger banks. Bigger banks probably do want this, so lower banks, the more banks, the local banks get out of business, and then they buy it up, and it happens with like a lot of capitalistic countries where in capitalism you have a choice of going to this vendor that when they're but when governments only work for a particular company, it's basically you could call it what they're saying, socialism for the rich, capitalism for the poor. So if you fail as a poor guy, you don't get bailed out. But if you fail as a rich guy, you get bailed out. So
Yeah.
uh that's the thing that you gotta look out for. But we'll see what Powell does. So if Powell does do a point 0.5 basis rate hike, you already know what their plan is, and he's with the rich banks. So
Well, it's welfare for the rich people. Like
basically, so
when you see people getting food stamp and trying to getting money from the government here and there, they call these people lazy,
yeah,
not willing to work. But you see those big banks getting welfare, oh, they're too big to fail.
yeah.
It is what it is.
And going forward, I want to share the screen and show you some news that kind of gets me. So if we go on the CNN page, there's this news that it's very small. It's underneath the Saddam Hussein thing. Uh, and it's a very small, but it's a very big, big news. And it's called the Saudi-Iran reconciliation. So now, if you know anything about uh, this is like two big countries in the Middle East, Saudi and Iran. And basically, if you know these two countries' history, Iran is mostly Shia and Saudi is mostly Sunni. And if you know about them two groups, they're not friends. They're always been enemies ever since Islam was born. So them getting reconciled and China being the key player to do it, how bad does that look for Joe Biden?
Well, it looks bad for the country and the European Union, not only the U.S. but also the European Union.
So if I was to ask you who is US's number one threat as a country? Number one threat
Right now,
right now.
probably Russia.
You think Russia or do you think China?
Well, well, it depends what are we talking about here. If we're talking about uh, war, is Russia. If we're talking about finances, it's China.
Okay. So if we go to war with China, it's probably going to be a cold one, right?
Oh yeah, big
So
one.
I think we're in a cold war with China. The world just doesn't recognize it yet as a Cold War. And secondly, who else is another enemy? Is it Iran or Saudi Arabia?
Iran.
Saudi Arabia is somebody that we really help out, and we whenever they sell oil, that's where we have our bases at and stuff like that to protect, them from, other countries trying to hurt them. Now that they've reconciled and, joined with Iran because of China, how bad does it make Biden look?
Uh
It's your boy, man.
it is, well, it's not, he's not my boy, but uh I think it's bad for the whole nation, because keep in mind, Joe Biden is not, he's basically the image. We have Congress and we have Senate. Those guys had to do with any decision that we make in the country, the US, the government makes in this country. So it's not only Joe Biden. Uh, I just, if we talk about that looking bad and the US, what happened to the European Union? What are they doing? They're not, to me, US and European Union is a bad relationship.
Yeah,
It's really bad relationship,
I
because
think
they
Europe
need to
doesn't contribute not to nothing. Europe basically, it's like, oh, it's tea time. Let's drink our tea. They're chilling, and we're the ones that basically fund them.
paying the bill.
Same thing can go with Israel. Israel, sorry. Um, they get funded from the U.S. a lot. A lot of our money goes to Israel. Now, the reason why they say it goes to Israel is because to keep the Middle East in check, correct? But mostly what Israel's done with that money is go to war with the small, I don't even know if it's called a country, it's called Palestine.
Yeah, but just
And that those funds are going to fund a war. So
yeah, but
most of our funds go to places to fund wars.
it is. And but keep in mind the US is doing it in a way where they're not, what the US is doing is buying an insurance policy. That's what they're doing. With every country they go to and try to help them out, give them money. That's what the US is doing. That is an insurance policy.
Yeah.
Just making sure that they control that area, that country. So the US spends a lot of money. We have problems in this country already with, you know, homeless people, drugs, violent. There's a lot of stuff going on here too that we need help. I'm not
Yeah.
saying don't help the world, because when you have power,
Help
you
your
have
country first.
responsibilities. Yep,
Yeah,
you have
100%.
responsibilities to your own people and the rest of the world too. That's
We're
why this
past that.
country
We're
is the
past
number
that
one
now.
country.
We're past where the president does anything for its own country. You know what I'm saying? The president is gets involved with other
To
people's
me,
problems. That's how it is.
but
I
this
I
is not the only,
yeah.
president that's done something
We
like this.
really need a
Every
grown up
president has done.
in the we really need a grown up in the office, not an old man that sleeps all day.
Well,
By,
we need new people.
by the way, this article is a very good read if you want to read it. It's very important. It tells you a lot. So it tells you about all the Middle East countries that are nearby and what this reconciliation means. So it's a very good read if you want to read it.
Well, we might
Very
just have
small article
to
too. If you look
we
at, very
we might
small,
have
but it's a big, big news. No one talks about it.
probably the US they don't want to talk about it.
No,
Well, if it
they don't
gets,
want to talk about it because it's gonna make Mr. Biden like bad, right? Now, what
We
they
might
do
have
want to
to
talk about is the Russian war, the Ukraine stuff, and all that stuff. This is number one for them.
we might have
Like,
to if it gets bigger, the news gets bigger because it will. We're just gonna have to talk about it in another video, a
gotcha,
little bit
gotcha.
more extend. But yeah, man, that's basically that's what happened this since yesterday, right? All this news.
Yeah. So in our next video, we do want to talk to you about bank stocks and how they performed from the last video we did talk about. And I think that's going to be a very great video because bank stocks did amazing today. So just to wrap it up, I feel like the markets are performing well. If next week the rate hike is 0.25, then see a very mixture in the market. But if there is no rate hike, I think it's like a great opportunity to invest your money in. Not financial advice. Do whatever you want with it. I'm just saying what I'm gonna do with it.
There we go. Yep, it's do what you need to do with your money and make the best decision you can. And we will see you guys. I think this is it for this video. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
Like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.